Hello, everybody. I am Christina, for those of you that haven't met me before. So I just want to say hello first off the bat. And I know I'm coming on a little late, but I know some of you will be able to catch me. So while we're waiting for a few people to come in, I'm going to encourage everyone that sees this later to like. And if you like it and you haven't subscribed before, subscribe. If you like the video, please share them out. And as always, I love it when you comment. So please do that. All right. Tonight, we are talking about really travel in the last days because it's not so safe right now. Even with a passport, there are just some places you really don't want to go. And the list is growing bigger every day. And, I'm not going to be able to go probably hit every area, but, you know, you'll know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Yes, we are going to talk about that. Yeshua is coming. Good evening, Nicole. Good evening. Yeshua is coming. Hello, sunshine. Love you, girl. Always thank you for everything. I have crazies here. Hey, girl. Hey, brother. Sorry. Hey, brother. All right. We got people coming in. Hello, Paul and Adrian. Awesome. Glad to see you here. All of you. Thank you for the thumbs up already. Okay, let's get to it. Okay. All right. First thing I want to say, if there weren't troubles ahead of the war that's coming one day, then no one would have to come in and save us. So we're kind of having some of these troubles. A lot of this is prophesied in the Bible, if not all of it. Okay, we're going to start with the DEFCON 3. Okay, because yes, Paul and Adrian did report on that yesterday, and I bet it's no coincidence that Putin and Biden are having their talks. They don't look like they're going so well, do they? Because now Putin has given Biden an ultimatum. This red line with America has to do with admitting Ukraine, with them saying you're not going to admit Ukraine to NATO, and that everybody just needs to back off or else. That's the biggest deal. Okay, and so I just really didn't think it was a coincidence we're going to DEFCON 3. I don't. The mainstream media reports that Biden is trying to take a hard line with Putin, which a lot of us think is a big mistake, over Ukraine and cybersecurity. And then Paul Begley reports that talks about evacuating the Ukraine are beginning to happen. So travel to Ukraine is not advised at this time. It is best to leave that area if you are not from there. Okay. And speaking of cyber attacks, Dabu77 reports today that a cyber attack struck Maryland's health department. So one by one, they're checking every system that there possibly can be here in America, right? All right. In the middle of that, all of a sudden now here in Houston has installed new travel restrictions as of yesterday due to the new variant that is said to be similar to the common cold. One lady in Houston who hasn't even been out of the country was discovered to have it. One lady, how in the world? But this is what's really odd about it. They're testing the wastewater for it now, which makes to me no sense at all. I mean, I'm sure if you go looking in the dirtiest places, you're going to find every little booger germ you could possibly want to find down there. Okay. It just seems a little odd. Why would it be in the water? I mean, does that, seem suspicious? Is that where people are getting it? I mean, why would you test the wastewater? What is with that? Does that even make sense to anybody? Okay. Yes, we're getting to that too. Okay. So not only that, this is going to be one of my shorter videos, but one of the places I was going to mention is the West Coast, off the coast of Oregon. We started with like a 4.0, 4.3 this morning. Then later on, we had two 5.5 earthquakes in the afternoon. And then I just took a look at it, and it's warming. It went from those 5.5s to a couple of 5.8 since then. And I mean, I'm talking, it looks like 20 quakes since those 5.5. Let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's somewhere around 15 since those 5.8. So something's definitely going on there, and we've always been watching that side. It could be nothing. Sometimes things swarm, but we know that the Earth is under an extreme amount of pressure, so much so that, the volcanoes all along there, like Mount St. Helens and Rainier and all those other ones going down to California. Even we had an earthquake, I think it was yesterday, in the Gulf of California. That was a pretty big one too. The pressure on the West Coast, that the pressure, I've noticed, it tends to head east in the United States. Like, all these fault lines are connected. And so you watch the New Madrid getting worse and the West Coast getting worse. And we're always watching for those volcanoes. And right now, for a possible tsunami to come in, because I mean, a lot of people have had dreams about that. So one of the places you might not want to visit right now would be maybe the United States West Coast. A lot is happening. I mean, and the pressure on the earth, it's doing all kinds of things. It's even speeding up the jet stream. The jet stream goes from the Gulf of Mexico straight up to Northwest Europe, around the UK, Spain, France, Ireland, Scotland, those areas. And if there's something wrong with the jet streams, the UK and that area tends to get hit pretty hard, usually during the winter. I've noticed that. Okay. And there is something going on over there with the UK. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, yeah. Paul Begley's reporting a bomb cyclone in Ireland and power outages in England. Okay. That tells you that we're under a lot of pressure. You got a lot of flooding. You've got a lot of volcanoes going off too. Once again, we've got Hawaii back on the radar, don't we? And I also wanted to mention that there seems to have been an uptick in earthquakes between San Antonio and Houston. It stops midway from between San Antonio and Houston, just north of Victoria, Corpus Christi, but there seems to be more and more activity going off on San Antonio's southeast side, heading towards Houston. Okay. Oh, yeah, how's things going, Dunamis 333? Did you suffer any of the power outages, or have you noticed any inclement weather? It's not wise to travel, but people will continue, right? And with the mandates and the quarantines, there's no guarantee that you'll get anywhere fast nowadays. Okay, hello. I want to welcome everyone. I didn't get a chance to really do that. Hello, Anne. I'm so glad you made it. Okay. Just kind of looking through the chat super quick. Pilgrim nuclear plant is dumping radioactive water of the east coast of Cape Cod. That's scary. They were also saying that residents in Hawaii, I think it's Pearl Harbor, found fuel in their water. Fuel. Okay. Hello, Pyrotechnics. Good to see you, honey. Nope, all is good where I live in London. That's wonderful to hear. That is very, very good. So it wasn't your area, but it was definitely reports coming from England. Hello, Pyrotechnic. Okay, everybody's saying hello. So there are just certain areas, like you don't want to go to like North Korea. Okay. Yes, and when you talk about mice and caterpillars, we had Australia. Okay, we have to bring up Australia because honestly, it looks like it's under some divine judgment because they've had, in the last few years, plagues of mice, fires, hail recently, tornadoes, earthquakes, and not to mention their crazed totalitarian politicians. That is a place I really wouldn't want to go. You probably don't want to travel to China right about now. You don't want to travel to the Ukraine. You might want to rethink Hawaii. I mean, they said they got snow, but I've heard it was at the top of the mountains, really. And then there's another one, Indonesia. It looks like Indonesia is just thick with ash, and they're the ones that usually gets the tsunamis. And if something bad is going to happen, you hear Indonesia. Yep, there it is. Yep, thick ash in Indonesia. So that's what we're looking at. So even if you're up on your cootie stick status, okay, when it comes to travel, you may now get a chip under your skin to make travel more convenient. I mean, they always just make it so convenient. But where we were just talking about in this live is the fact that there's a lot of cyber attack, a lot of cyber hacking going on, right? Once you put this equipment in you, you also can be attacked and hacked. Okay, not these machines aren't foolproof. Okay, when you've got the kind of electricity coming through our atmosphere from space that knocks out equipment and things like that, all the people that hack systems, and not to mention the things that are going to develop in the future, you really don't want us to keep putting this machinery in you. Okay, it's just not a good thing to have a signal coming back and forth from your body all the time. That in itself can make you sick. And in fact, I heard in a couple of different countries now too, because we talked about this maybe a month or two ago. I was like, look, if the electricity goes out, you can't even get money out of the ATM machine if you go to the grocery store. You'll have to have some cash on hand. Well, in a couple of different countries, there are some grocery stores that power wasn't working, so they literally couldn't check you out or do anything. And they're starting to say, yeah, if you had cash, maybe, but they couldn't check. To the more that we're depending on these machines, it's really getting worse. But they make it look so convenient, but it's also becoming what looks like a standard for travel right now, even for a cold level threat. All right. So we see that the earth is doing what God said that it would do. But there are a lot of things that we knew that would also be happening in the last days, not just darkness coming into the world, but God himself working, getting people ready, miracles, all kinds of things, right? And out of this one he did a video like maybe a week ago, right? And his name is Dinesh D'Souza, right? He recently reported that millions of Muslims are having dreams and visions of Jesus Christ and they're converting, all right? God always said that my people are all over the world. They come from all nations, right? And that things would begin to happen in the last days, okay? If I wasn't mistaken, that one day even the Jews in the last days will come to believe that Christ has risen. Something is going to happen, and God is working nowadays. But right now, when it comes to travel, you might just want to be careful, because even when it comes back into the country, we can't guarantee that something won't happen to you that happened to all those people on the cruise ships that got left out there for weeks at a time, or all the men that have been in those ships off the West Coast waiting to unload all their cargo, right? You don't know. So it's just kind of getting to that point where if you're not where you need to be, you might want to get there. You might want to consider traveling to your go place or being in your go place versus traveling, and spend time with the ones that you love. Okay. Clarissa's here. Love it. Try to starve me, put my head in a basket. I wouldn't travel if you paid me, right? I've got high calcium in my blood. Jay, welcome. Lieutenant Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is a former, I don't know how to pronounce that, signatory. I'll have to look up what that means. I have high iron in my blood and have to give blood to get it out. Static electricity all the time because, ooh, that must be so interesting. I mean, can you imagine? We've got the red star and the blue Kachina. That's part of the solar system that's near ours, our binary, right? The red one is a planet that's made of iron oxide. The star, the blue Kachina, is a magnetar. It's a huge magnet. So can you imagine all this equipment and people and all these magnetics and things start happening? I wouldn't want anything like that in my body. All right. Canada is now closing off grocery store to purebloods. It's happening in Canada now, huh? Well, we knew, those of us who were listening, we knew to stock up ahead of time on everything. Hello, Dan Vincent. Glad you came. Adrian. Awesome. All right. We're gonna go ahead and cut this one short, and I just, wanna let all of you know how happy I am that you came. Oh, today is the last day of Hanukkah. I didn't know that. I'm glad you mentioned that, Dunamis. Okay. All right, y'all. I will definitely see you here on Sunday, 4 o'clock Central Standard Time. We're gonna be talking about some awesome things in prophecy, and I can't wait to see you there. Bye, everybody.